Mad Max Fury Road. Look at this film, Mad Max Fury Road. You can definitely tell by just looking at it, the age would be around 15 to perhaps mid 40s. Because this, looking at all the action, you can tell that it's meant for a very enthralling experience. It's not too complicated for a young audience, but at the same time, it's easy enough for the older audience to get into as well. But because of all the action films we've been going around recently, you can just look at this film and tell for yourself, yes, this is meant for the main psychographic audience today, which is young. But at the same time, looking at all the action itself, we don't want it to be too young, because at times this film offers some really, really dark action as well. Dark action, very gruesome scenes, which, for younger audiences, might not really get into. Definitely not for the faint-hearted, that is. We can also tell this is for the main audience around today because of its main actors it got in it. For example, Tom Hardy, who's a well-known actor at the moment, taking part in many, many films, both independent and mainstream. He's probably shown throughout the trailer as well, so we can tell he's our main protagonist, aka Mad Max, along with some new characters and a more crueler antagonist compared to the original Mad Max films, which, as we know, had Mel Gibson as our main character. But the reason why I'd say it appeals to a more older audience is because it's a sequel to the classic franchise made over 30 years ago. It will remind the older audiences of how good it was then and just how good it'll be now with updated technology, better effects, and the introduction of much, much cooler CGI. With the previous films, it's been in a post-apocalyptic look and include gritty, violent characters and action that is so memorable today that, looking back on it, you think, well, compared to, Fury Road, the action in these previous few films won't be as good, but to them, amazing. And plus, we've been introduced to our new characters and villains as well, so we're getting a good idea of how loyal they've been to real by recreating the crazy, high-octane characters and action that all your audience will remember so well. In general, I'd say the film itself is aimed towards a male audience, mainly because, looking at our main character, he's male, and the narration he has over the trailer when played. Now, because of all the hell that he's been through and all this madness that he talks about, we feel that we're centered on him as he survives during this chaotic wasteland. He's lost family members and friends, which leads us to believe that it'll be showing him dealing with the madness that takes place all around him. While there are female characters in the film itself, one in particular who has a prominent role alongside Hardy, the trailer still focuses on the struggles Max faces as he tries to survive alongside his characters in this mad wasteland. Not only this, but the heavy use of crazy modified vehicles and over-the-top weaponry and firepower makes the film very intriguing for male audiences because they're intrigued by cool-looking vehicles and especially love high-powered action films. Fury Road hits the bill perfectly as it's non-stop, over-the-top action. The stunts shown itself make it look even more extreme and make it eye-candy for male viewers who are into this sort of crazy action. The such class itself makes me believe it's more working class and middle class. The heavy use of action sequences and stunts create visuals that satisfy the audience's needs, as with a film like this, these people expect a film with intense action sequences and crazy effects. And because the mass target market now, with what all these action films go on, they'll remember what they want to watch again and again without getting bored. This is why the trailer fits working class, middle class perfectly. Because it's currently the most common social class and they want a film that'll make them satisfied but isn't too much for them. And the trailer gives us a brief taste of what's to come. It's over the top at times, but it's not too much for them to be disconnected from it. The plot itself also, by looking at the trailer, gives an idea that it's about our main character Max, with his group of survivors and fighting out to escape the wrath of this cruel villain and his followers. The idea of a protagonist and his group versus an antagonist and his group in this post-apocalyptic world is good with this bad sideline, which is simple, difficult enough for the audience to follow, therefore making an easy, enjoyable watch for the working class, middle class who like to watch films which are full of what they enjoy most, as long as it's good enough for their satisfaction. Location for this film, I'd say, is mainly aimed at American Western areas. Because it's set in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, it's hard to look at this setting and include its setting. Looking at it itself, we think, wow, where is this set? It's some sort of wasteland. We can't tell what this place once was. However, because the characters speak English, and because it's a well-known English-speaking actor, Tom Hardy, starring in it, as all these other Western stars, we're going to tell it's an American film, despite it being filmed in South Africa and Australia, of course. Its heavy use of special effects and use of CGI makes it obvious that this film comes from a Western world production, because of its big budget, because of its big budget and its massive use of CGI, which we know nowadays mainly come from America, can rest assured that it knows that there's no other place other than that place. That said, however, this is both an American and an Australian product, as it has film companies both from these locations. The type of audience this trailer, I'd say, is probably mainstream. The trailer itself gives the audience a taste of what's to come for massive special effects, intense action scenes, and over-the-top stunts to add to this craziness that takes place. When you look at all this, you can tell it was a film with a big budget, and as an independent film would get nowhere near close enough to create such stunning imagery and effects. Plus, its name is based on the famous action-packed trilogy Mad Max that came out during the late 70s and early 80s. Not only this, a big name like Tom Hardy, who's currently starring in a lot of big films recently, it makes him more mainstream viewership, as he's been a big actor who's taken on many different roles, all of which have been very, very impressive. Not only does it have Tom Hardy, but it also has Academy Award actress Charles Frayne starring alongside Hardy, and she herself has established as a talented, well-known actress, as well as, upcoming talent starring in the film itself. Now, the psychographic, I'd probably say, is mainstreamers, The action genre is, without doubt, one of the most popular genres at the moment, and, ever since massive CGI effects have come into the frame, the audience has been asking for more and more. And with a film like this, you could tell that it is action-packed. Look at the trailer, massive open western crazy world, big explosions, crazy characters. Yeah, it is definitely one for the mainstreamers, especially given that they love action films at this point in time. And the action has improved massively over the years, and because of the special effects, has made films even more stunning, while the stunts itself, even in the film, look even more dangerous. Also, looking at the characters' clothes as well as their ragged and worn, as if they've been through so much hell, which is showing that some of the characters' clothing has become extremely dirty, tattered and worn. This supports the whole apocalyptic genre as it includes these elements in the trailer and shows the characters and their rusty vehicles being used in its post-apocalyptic wasteland.